Hello, I'm Peter. I'm from Vader, and you're watching Heavy New York. Stay tuned. Heavy, 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 heavy New York.
What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York. We are on the tour bus outside Warsaw Concerts in Brooklyn, and we are here with Peter of the Almighty Vader. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a pleasure. Always in New York.
It's great to have you back. One thing I was curious about is because your new record, Solitude and Madness, which is coming out this year, but one thing I was curious about is last year you released the Thy Messenger EP. So could the Thy Messenger EP almost serve as kind of like a preview of what Solitude and Madness is going to sound like?
It became kind of appetizer, but first idea, when we started to record, like it's supposed to be an album, not as a whole, with the more songs. But we had to delay the session. There were some problems with terms, with dates, we just couldn't wait like so long, So we decided to record EP, and just to have something for 2019 before they knew the full-length album going to be out. So we took like a few new songs, like we kept for new album, and they stayed on the Thy Messenger EP. And we added, usually, like we do on EPs, some classic cover songs. This time it was Steeler Priest. And Wes Benskotter created great cover, and we have it. But that's, as I mentioned at the beginning, so this is a kind of appetizer before the full-length album will be out soon. So actually, it's just kind of the album will be kind of in this direction. So if you don't like fast and brutal music, keep away from that one.
Well, one thing I'm curious about is having so many albums out. Like when you compare The Beast or Solitude and Madness or Thy Messenger or any of the records that came through. Do you take a new approach to every single album, or at this point in the career of Vader, you have like a formula that you tend to stick with?
No, this is just like a next step in life, let's say, and. The album is like a croning. The time is like collecting everything what happened between, and just when we're in the studio, we just collecting all these ideas, like putting in creating the album. Sometimes it happened in the past, like with the album Impressions in Blood. So there was kind of idea, the main idea for the album, which was blood. And so if you just follow a song, like the lyrics, the titles, the pictures on the album, so you see so many things that connected, like with blood, word blood, and what does blood means, right? And but that was like one of the kind of like album with the main idea. But usually, like we had some ideas, and we create some. It's like, as a creator, it's hard to say. Like I put emotions. If there's something which influenced me, I create a song. I do music which influenced me and made me doing that, or I write a lyric about what I feel, what I felt, and because I get a specific kind of writing. I'm not talking straight about what was inspiring me. It's more like kind of story I create about. But there's of course like the other button of the story, which was a real thing. Sometimes I say about that. Sometimes I leave it just for the listeners and for their imagination. So interpretation can be just different, But usually there's like a specific story that was triggered to make this exactly.
Could the story or the concept determine the outcome of the music itself, or do you need to hear music before like a story or a concept is written down?
Well, it's different. There's no one way, of creativity. Sometimes I got just music. I found some notes, some riffs, and then I build the rest upon that. But sometimes I got the whole story, and I just try to arrange the music for that, just following my interpretation, my feelings about it. So this is not like now creating a soup. There is some steps which also you need just to follow. There's not such a rule here. Maybe when you record, so you start with the drums usually because that's like a backbone, so that's easier. But even that is might be different because some people even like to record a vocal to drums without anything else. But there's no rule on that. Not to me.
Yeah.
Maybe some musicians they like just to follow the routine and creativity. That's a freedom. Creation is free, So everybody like to follow their own routine, their own style, way, whatever. But the product is important. Product is, the priority, and what we listen like the final product, and the way how you like achieve that point. Who cares about that actually?
Of course.
This is just
Well, one thing I was curious about is, when because, Vader sings about many different subject matters from World War II to different sort of elements, like both internally and externally. Do you need to put yourself in a certain element in order for artistic inspiration to come, or does an idea or inspiration just come out of the blue?
nothing comes out of the blue, in my opinion. It's like usually, of course, like my what I see now when I'm a watcher, I like to watch. I like to travel, to just to see what's going on. I like to follow what's going on in a life given to me. This seconds of existence, like in the whole world. And but let's keep away from philosophy. And if I find something interesting, something who influenced straight me, or just something I like, I can write about that. I don't need just to write about it straight. Like you mentioned some point of interest, like a Second World War, but trust me, if I wouldn't explain some things, I don't think like many would even know that this is any connected with the war or something. That's the stories I was talking about. This kind of like specific for Vader. It's like the good explanation with a song called Demons. They didn't even have called Demons. Like for the band like Vader, if you don't know, and if you know what do we play, so it'll be about some demons, right? If you follow the lyrics, that's pretty similar. It's just like some fire, some flash, like blood, like come like that. But the real their inspiration was just the war machines made of steel and flesh, which are humans, like which is like operating, and easy story, like. But that's good explanation how like something which could be even not inspiring for many can be enough just to do a song, about it. But the freedom of interpretation is also like some guys they like to interpret it straight. They do prefer to see demons more than tanks, let's say. Some other they like this story because they like that there was not just something created like a fiction, but that was a real world who inspired me just to write something. So this is music. I should like this is emotional and I was also always the same to me as a fan of the music. I interpreted the songs I liked or I do like in my own way. But sometimes if I know the story, I like it too, because then I see the other the other dimension of of something I knew from a different side. Very interesting.
Yeah. It almost seems like, from what you're telling me, it almost seems like the music can both be very literal and very metaphorical at the same time.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly, and we actually are more into this symbolic, this fiction part than this literally stories talking. So we are more like fairy tales. Than like historians, if I can compare that like this.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's almost like using an external element to describe an internal element, or an internal element to describe an external one.
It's many aspects like that in Vader. Trust me. I need just to talk about what was a straight inspiration to me, what I was talking about, like to explain the story. Then some pictures which are for some people, what I still keep trying to explain. Some fiction, actually, it's not fiction. It's just like the language I'm talking to is just different. It's more like kind of fairy tale,
Yeah. I don't think there's such a thing as fiction anymore because the fact that it comes from a human mind and a human hand, it's clearly coming from somebody's heart. So sure, there's no Jack and the Beanstalk, but I feel like it's coming from a human mind. That's what makes it real.
Yeah, but if we'd like just to get deeper into philosophy, probably would spend like another days here, like talking, speaking about it, which is pretty interesting, of course. But
Yeah. I'll send this to the label, being like, enjoy for an hour and a half. I have two more questions for you, though. One little silly question, though, is because you have so many albums out now, and I think does it get harder to put a set list together when you're playing live?
or you don't even know how, really, because I absolutely, it's because we had so many albums and like so many fans, with there's like a third generation of Vader fans now, and everybody join us like in the different times. Some of them they follow us since the very beginning, so they love the first works. Some of them like join us later, so they usually like everybody likes something they found interesting in Vader when they catched us for the first time. And if we got so many albums and let's say one maximum like 1.5 hour to play, because for this intensity, trust me, is enough, and especially for a drummer.
Right.
So we try to change the set list. We not. I never liked as a fan, to watch the same band on tour playing. Let's say if I would see them 3 times and to know that every next song is gonna be in the same order and it's gonna be the same song. I like to be surprised with something.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I understand that it's just sometimes not possible. So set list supposed to exist because it makes the whole tour easier. But we still like to change something now, just because we don't want to. We know that fans expect that. We love to surprise fans, and we love to surprise ourselves as well on stage. So
And that brings me to the final question, because talking about the live presence, because we went so in depth in the songwriting process and the meaning and the subject matter. But when it comes to playing live, is there a similar energy or a similar creative process to executing your material live as opposed to when you're songwriting, or are they two completely separate arts altogether?
I think, and that's why I'm here. I think the metal is created, and the meaning of metal is to play live. And of course, like we need just to follow to create the discography, to need to have new songs to play the next time. But what I love in metal is to play live, to be on stage and to play live. This is metal, and just when you watch the band playing live, you can feel the metal, and you can feel the difference between the bands. Are they really metal or not? Because like especially today, you can record anything actually, and there's too many bands like who can create great albums but cannot repeat it on stage live, which is not good. I really like the vice versa. I like the bands who sometimes just created album. Maybe the albums did not sound too good, but live they absolutely great. And this is metal to me, and that's why Vader was and will be always like focused on playing live. That's why we're busy guys. We're professional bands, so we play since so 35 years, more than that. So we play
Before I was born.
almost 100. It's average 100 shows every year. Sometimes more, sometimes a little less, but it's average of 100 years shows a year. So this is I think the good answer for your questions to why we're here. So of course creativity. That's a good part. It's nice, but if you would ask me what do I like better, playing live, playing shows.
There you go. So before we go, I'd like to thank you so much for your time today. Really looking forward to the show tonight. It's my first time seeing Vader tonight, so I'm really excited.
Enjoy.
Yep. So is there just anything else with the band you would like to promote? Like when could we be expecting Solitude and Madness, or just anything else you'd like to promote? This will be uploaded by midnight, so if there's...
I wish I could to talk more about new album, but I still I promise I'm gonna keep my mouth shut for something. No details. So we got that first single published with the song Shock and Awe. We're gonna play that live tonight as well. The new one coming up soon as a video clip, and then the album. What I promise is gonna be out soon, and some more details gonna show. We're gonna show up soon as well. So just stay in tune.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everybody,
Thank you.
Peter of Vader, Solitude and Madness coming out very soon. We'll see you next time on Heavy New York.